So check this out. Recently in our Omnia newsletter, I've been talking about digital coercion and how targeted advertising is just the first step towards teaching AI how to better understand and how to better influence. But I quickly came to realize we can't talk about technology with such broad brushstrokes of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, especially in a hypothetical. Better than to look at the holistic perspective and see that for every potential evil that can come from technology, there's also a lot of good. So to that end, let's spend some time talking about why you should be more excited by the future of technology than fearful of it. Welcome to Ready Set Crypto. This is your brain on blockchain. So as I mentioned, we at Ready Set Crypto run a service called Omnia, which is all about the future of opportunity and technology and trading and cryptocurrency, and really just giving you a space of trust and honesty and education in an otherwise chaotic and confusing world. We pride ourselves by treating our community with respect and aim to give honest value every day, which is hopefully something you've seen from our YouTube channel. So, as I mentioned today, we're going to be talking about the future of technology and why I'm more hopeful than I am fearful, and I believe you should be as well. So let's dive into a few reasons why, and I'll start with AI. After all, during the course of the next decade, the most likely scenario is that AI will have a modest impact on the lives of humans. AI systems will continue to expand, with the greatest growth coming from systems that augment and complement human capabilities and decision making. But this is not to say that there won't be negative impacts from the use and proliferation of AI. Jobs will be replaced and certain industries will be disrupted. Even scarier, and as I talked about in our newsletter this week, there are many ways AI can be weaponized. For example, what happens when we live in a world where the AI systems understand you such that they know what you're going to buy before you even buy it? But like most technological advancements, I do think the overall impact of AI will be additive, at least over the next decade or so. I do think we make a mistake when we look for direct impact without considering the larger picture. We worry about the worker displaced by a machine rather than focus on broader opportunities for a better trained and healthier workforce, where geography and income no longer determine access. Not only that, but one of the most widespread misconceptions about AI and robotics is that their implementation into the world will first replace blue-collar, low-skill jobs, whereas the high-skill and white-collar workforce will remain unscathed, at least in the near term. Even though this might seem intuitive for most people, delving deeper into this issue challenges that assumption. This is due to the so-called Moravec Paradox, which explains why white-collar jobs that require a high level of knowledge will be the first ones impacted by AI, contrary to conventional wisdom. The paradox was first articulated by Professor Hans Moravec. Simply put, the principle states that it's relatively easy for robots and AI algorithms to perform tasks that seem difficult by human standards. Those that demand a high level of reasoning and mathematical thinking are actually easy to replace, while at the same time they struggle with operations that we deem simple and unconscious. It is comparatively easy to make computers exhibit adult-level performance on tests or playing checkers, and is difficult or impossible to give them skills of a 1-year-old when it comes to perception and mobility. The oldest human skills, which include moving around in space, recognizing a voice, etc., are unconscious to us, and as a result seem effortless and natural, because they were honed by nature over a very long time span. This means that it's difficult to reverse engineer skills that appear effortless, because they are very old. On the other hand, a skill that demands attention and effort can be replicated by AI and robots because they evolved very recently. In essence, AI is great at thinking, but robots are bad at moving their fingers. Regardless, and of course this video is meant to cheer you up, not bum you out, we should recognize that AI can significantly improve usability and thus access to the benefits of technology. Let me stress that automation isn't meant to replace, it's meant to augment and make more efficient. Many powerful technical tools today require detailed expertise. And AI can bring more of those to a larger swath of the population. After all, that's the angle that Facebook is taking with Libra, justifying their malpractice with privacy and data by highlighting the greater issue of financial services not benefiting a large portion of the world. Today, the unbanked population stands at a staggering 1.7 billion globally, according to data released by the World Bank. In the European Union alone, close to 40 million citizens don't have a bank account. In the developing world, there is an issue of absolute low incomes. In regards to how much in deposits people would be providing, these are below the threshold of feasibility for banks using traditional branch-based, teller-based models. So you simply couldn't put a branch out in a rural area and expect it to be profitable, given the amount of income that it would or likely would not generate. And certainly this problem is bigger than people just living in rural areas. Take Finland as an example. For the past few years, the country's immigration service has been handing out MasterCards to asylum seekers who don't have the necessary documentation to open a conventional bank account. People can use their accounts to buy things, pay bills, and even receive direct deposits from employers. Meanwhile, every transaction is being recorded in a blockchain, enabling immigration service to keep track of the cardholders and their spending. I know that this notion probably isn't new to us in the crypto space, but I do want to highlight the tremendous opportunity that it represents for the future. A killer app for blockchain is right there in uplifting those 1.7 billion people who remain outside of the financial system, even though 1 billion have a mobile phone and nearly 500 million have internet access. Rather than trying to convert a worldwide population already using the SWIFT network and break them away from conventions that they're comfortable with, nod along if you've heard something similar to, well, that Bitcoin thing sounds interesting, and yeah, I really don't like my bank, but I do like using my card or my contactless and getting those airline miles. I think we should spend some of our efforts uplifting those who need it the most. And I think this illustrates the point that I want to stress the most. It's ecosystems, not inventions, that drive the future. Peter Thiel likes to say that we wanted flying cars, but we got 140 characters instead. But you know what? I think 140 characters are way better than flying cars. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a flying car, and cars drive us from A to B. But the internet lets us span the world and drive the future. And that's why I'm hopeful for the future. I could have made a video about the top 10 technologies that are going to change the world or something like that. But I think it's more important for me to convey that there are innumerable factors that propel us ever deeper towards unfathomable heights of technological achievement. It's that innate human curiosity that is the main driving force behind it all. That ingenuity and sense of innovation and hunger to understand the unknown. Ultimately, as we sail towards the unimaginable at an exponentially rapid rate, it may be worth a moment's time to simply pause and wonder what it is that is really driving us. After all, technology helps us solve problems, but it is never the answer. In the same way, technology is neither good nor bad, moral or immoral. Technology is a tool. Technology is the amplifier of intent. Right now, we stand at a crossroads of destiny, of purpose, of innovation. But so long as we never lose the ability to dream, to wonder, to question, then the future is very bright. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.